Hi, welcome to Gen Z Finance. I'm an older Gen Z on the cusp of being a young millennial, documenting my financial journey here on YouTube and over on my Instagram at Zennial Finance. Please make sure you like this video, subscribe to my channel. You can always leave me a comment down below, and you can follow me over on my Instagram for more personal finance content. Today, I'm going to be reviewing my May 2021 net worth, as well as revealing my saving and investing rate for the month. The net worth portion is going to be a bit shorter, hopefully, than normal, because I did do a May portfolio update. I posted that last month. It was near the end of the month, so the numbers were slightly off, like my final numbers. At the end of the day, it was pretty on point, and that update revealed my asset allocation, my specific holdings, and then my asset location breakdown. So we're going to be going over the net worth portion a little bit quick. Between all of my cash accounts, this is checking, savings, even the cash portion of my HSA, I have $26,247. This only grew by $228 from April, and you can see in the past months it's been more than that, and that's just because May was a really spendy month, which if you want more insight on what I spent all my money on, I will link my May budget review up here for you to watch. Next, getting into my invested assets, my 401k is at $18,870. What I will point out and what you can look for throughout the rest of this video is you can see I invested about $1,523 into the account this month. That was just for my normal contributions. And then you can see overall my account grew by $1,647. So that means there was really only about $125 of actual growth from the market. And the way that you can always determine this is if you take the total amount the account grew or decreased by minus what I actually invested into the account. That gets you how much the market grew on top of that. It was kind of a flat month. The beginning of May was really red, and then the rest of May we kind of had steady bounce back, so that we kind of ended up at the same spot at the end of May as we were at the beginning. My HSA, again, this is the invested portion, I have $4,850. I contributed $258 as normal through my paycheck deductions. My Roth IRA is $10,800. I actually put $700 into this account instead of the normal $500. This FICA account is a small 401A account with my part-time employer. As a note, this account will soon be closed. I'm going to continue working there through the end of June, and then I have put in my notice that I won't be continuing on with them. At that point, I'm going to decide if I want to roll this over into my current full-time job 401k. It is a pre-tax account, or I can just take the tax hit and roll this over into a Roth IRA, but it is a really small account, so it shouldn't really matter either way. I'm still deciding what I want to do, but just a heads up that probably by like August, you won't see this account in my breakdown anymore because this money will be rolled over into another account. In my taxable section, I have hit over $5,000 in my Vanguard brokerage account. That's really exciting. I still really do like M1 Finance. I still recommend them. And actually in May, I got $30 for a referral bonus. I always have a link to M1 Finance in the description box down below. As a side note, I also have the link to this spreadsheet where you can actually purchase a spreadsheet if you're interested in checking it out to maybe track your net worth changes. All of that information is in the description box down below. So with all of that taken into account, my total assets for May of 2021 was $66,100 and almost $75. Again, $26,200 of that was cash. I don't have anything in physical assets, and then total invested is $39,927. I was so close to hitting $40,000. I just wish the market had been like $70 better and I would have hit that, but it's not that big of a deal. In total, I invested $2,626. As a side note, I did invest in crypto for the first time in May of 2021, but I don't track the value of my crypto in this net worth breakdown. I do track the value in YNAB. I have this Coinbase account listed here where I tracked, my contribution and then, how much I lost. But it's my personal preference that I don't track it in my net worth spreadsheet, although you could if you wanted to. I just prefer not to look at it. So overall, my assets grew by $3,100 this month. Next, for my liabilities, all I have is a credit card. I've paid off all my student loans. I do pay my statement balances in full every month. It's just by the time the end of the month rolls around, I already have more spending on it. So this isn't debt that I'm paying any interest on. It's just the awaiting balance that I will pay off when the statement comes due. So all of these numbers feed into this net worth section. So again, it shows the breakdown of my assets to my liabilities. And then that means that my total net worth for the month of May was $64,806.75. Overall, my net worth increased by $3,000. This is the smallest amount my net worth has increased so far in the year. Again, a lot of that was just because as I said before, the market was kind of flat. But the good news is I didn't lose money in the market. There was overall still a gain, even if it was small, so I'm excited about that. This is a dashboard that is part of my spreadsheet that, again, you can purchase down below. It just goes over more details and kind of provides some visualizations of the data that is entered on that first spreadsheet. And then this also provides just an overview of that growth in net worth over time from February of 2019 to today. Again, if you want more details on my investments, I recommend watching the May portfolio update. But we're going to move on to reviewing my saving and investing rate for the month of May. So May is here in column F, and then I do have column E, which was April, up just so that you can kind of compare the numbers. Again, in total, I invested $2,626, and my total gross income for the month was $5,361.82. And that was between all of my sources of income, which means that I invested about 49% of my gross income. Now, my goal is actually to invest 50% of my gross income, so I actually came just under this, which is why it's highlighted in yellow, because I didn't hit the goal exactly, but I came very, very close. If I did count the, $350 that I invested into crypto this month, then I definitely would have hit that goal. But since I'm not counting crypto in my net worth, I've just decided not to really count that as investing contributions, at least for this calculation. Again, that's my personal preference. Let me know down below if you would count that in your calculations. I'd be really interested in hearing people's thoughts on that. This second breakdown, so the first one focused on just my investing and my gross income. The second one looks at my net income, so everything I actually brought into the budget. I brought in $2,875. That's actually what I recorded in YNAB, and that's how much I kind of had to spend this month. And then not including things that I sent to investments or anything like that, I spent $1,671. May was a very spendy month. You can compare that spending to April, where I only spent $800, so literally half of that, and that is a much better representation of how much I usually spend a month. May just had a lot of expenses. Some of them I knew were going to happen, some of them were not as planned as I wanted, but it's okay. But that means that I didn't spend about $1,200 of the $2,800 that I brought into my budget, which means I had a not spent rate. If you want to call this a savings rate, you can. I consider it a not spent rate because this isn't really money that I'm saving. Like, I didn't move that $1,200 all into my savings or anything like that. It's just money that kind of was left over for the month. That gives me a rate of about 42%. That's in red because I would like this number to be, I think, 65% or over. As you can see in April, it was almost 80%. This third section is pretty much just a combination of the previous two. So again, we're looking at the gross income. So I either invested or just did not spend $3,000, again, of the $5,300 that I brought in gross this month, which means I have an almost 56% savings rate. So I'm happy that this is over 50%, but again, I would like this to be closer into the 65-70 range. The last rate I will mention, this is my giving rate. Every month I track how much I am giving either to donations to charity, which in May was $0, or via gifts to family or just random acts of kindness, which I actually did a lot of that in May. That was part of a lot of my spending, so $173. But overall, my giving was just over 6% if you count in everything that I bought for other people. We're going to do a quick check-in on one of my 2021 goals, which is to spend $15,000 or less, ideally less, for 2021. Again, in May, I spent $1,600. If you take that $15,000 and divide it by 12, that gives you an average monthly spending of about $1,250, which means I went over that $1,250 kind of monthly limit by about $420. However, if you look back at the previous months of the year, I have come under budget in all of the previous months, some of them by multiple hundreds of dollars, and I still have $9,500 that I can spend for the next, June through December. This should be possible for me to still do. Again, it's completely fine if some months I'm over, as long as most months I am under, because it will all average itself out. Okay, that is going to be it for this video, and that is my net worth update. As always, I hope y'all are staying safe and healthy and that you have a good day.